There seems to be a lot of confusion around calories in versus calories out nowadays. Some people tell you calories are all that matter, others say not all calories are created equal, and others tell you it's all about hormones. So today I'm going to explain how much calories in versus calories out matters for weight loss, and what exactly goes into that equation.
Alright, let's dive right into this one and let's answer the big question right off the bat. Is calories in versus calories out really what matters when it comes to losing weight? And the answer is 100% yes. You have to be in a calorie deficit, which if you don't know what that means, it means you burn more calories than you consume to be able to lose weight. But with that being said, calories in versus calories out is highly misunderstood, so the big focus of today's video is to clear up that confusion. Now, the biggest argument against calories in versus calories out is probably the types of food you eat, with the argument being that not all calories are created equal. For instance, they will say 100 calories from broccoli is not the same as 100 calories from a donut. This is technically true, but also false. Let me explain. When it comes to the actual equation itself, there's only one factor that goes into the calories in part of the equation, but there's four major factors that we'll cover in the calories out part of the equation. I'll get into the calories out later, but right now let's talk about calories in. The calories in part of the equation is really simple. It's the calories from the food that you eat that goes into your mouth. And the calorie amount of that food is the stored energy within that food. So 100 calories of broccoli has the same stored energy as 100 calories from a donut. But that's just the calories in. Now we need to look at the calories out part of the equation, and the first one I want to talk about is the thermic effect of food. This is the amount of energy that your body uses just to break down the food that you consume, and is really what people mean when they say not all calories are created equal. How many calories your body burns processing the food you eat has more to do with the macronutrient breakdown of it, because each one has a rough different thermic effect of food. For instance, protein comes in at the highest by far at a 25 to 30% thermic effect of food, whereas carbs comes in around about 5 to 8%, and fat is last at about 2 to 3%. And fiber is also a very high thermic effect, much like protein also comes in around 25 to 30%. And this can explain why many things like fruits that are mostly carbohydrates are considered healthy, while things that are mostly carbohydrates such as like gummy bears and other sugary snacks aren't, because fruits are higher in fiber and harder to digest, as well as packed with more micronutrients, so the body uses more energy processing something like raspberries than it does gummy bears. So if we were to look at some examples of how different types of foods can make a big difference in terms of how many calories you actually net, if you ate 1,000 calories from a sugary candy at a 5 to 8% thermic effect of food, you would net around 920 to 950 calories from that food. Whereas if you ate 1,000 calories from something like tilapia that's almost all protein, at 25 to 30% thermic effect of food, you're only going to net about 700 to 750 of those calories. Same calories going in, but a couple hundred more calories going out with the high protein food. But thermic effect of food is only one of the four considerations we need to make with the calories out part of the equation. And the first of the other three is BMR, which stands for basal metabolic rate, which is basically the amount of calories your body burns just basically keeping the lights on, so to speak, basically keeping you alive. Like if you were literally to lay down in bed and not move an inch all day, that's how many calories your body would burn. The next factor is TEE, or the thermic effect of exercise, and this is how many calories your body burns during the exercise that you do on any given day. And the last factor is NEAT, which stands for non-exercise activity thermogenesis. And this is the amount of calories that your body burns just kind of moving around throughout the day, fidgeting, getting up, going to the bathroom. That all burns additional calories. Now, one of the traps here is you can go online and you can look up things like TDEE calculators, and you can use different types of equipments to track your calories burned, such as a heart rate monitor or using the heart rate on the treadmill or any type of equipment like that. The problem is these equations are often very different than the actual calories burned, and most of the time it way overshoots what you actually get. And this is especially true if you have a long, extreme history of dieting. What not very many people understand is the more aggressively you diet and the longer you do it for, the more your metabolism slows down, because our bodies and our metabolisms are adaptive and are designed to fight for survival. It does this by making your body more efficient at storing the calories that you give it in times of low calories through changes in the calories out part of the equation. If you do a ton of cardio, your body will adapt to this and you will burn less calories through exercise during that cardio. As you lose weight, your BMR is going to drop because it doesn't need as much energy to keep the lights on. Basically, everything in the body that's designed to burn calories is going to burn less calories, and any other factors that people may come up with as to why you can't lose weight all relates back to these 4 factors. Many people will point to other things such as medical conditions or insulin and other hormones, but the reason these things make it more difficult is because of their ability to decrease calorie output through all these factors that I've given you. So while yes, hormones are part of the equation, but they're part of the equation because you get less calories burned through things like the thermic effect of food and the thermic effect of exercise and NEAT and BMR. Now with all that being said, I've had people tell me many times that I know calorie deficits don't work because I reduced my calories and I didn't lose weight. But there's a few things you need to consider here. One is that people have higher or lower adaptive metabolism. So some people's metabolisms just adapt really fast. And if that's you, you might require more drastic changes to be able to see results. Another might be that you have a long history of yo-yo dieting and your metabolism is completely trashed and it just makes it really hard to lose weight. So you need to go through a period of reverse dieting to improve your metabolism again, which if you don't know what that is, I have a whole playlist on my channel about reverse dieting I'd recommend checking out after this video, but I'm not going to cover it in this one because it would just make it too long of a video. Another thing to consider is how diligent you were to paying attention to how much you were eating. How closely were you tracking? Because research has shown that people just are not very good at estimating the amount of calories that they eat. In fact, one study actually showed that obese people who reported not being able to lose weight on 1,200 calories, when they actually looked at what they were eating double what they thought they were, and they were burning about half the calories they thought they were through exercise. Another thing to consider is a lot of people only look at nutrition and exercise, but you have to take everything into account, right? Did you reduce your NEAT when you started increasing your exercise? Did you change jobs or change something within your job where now you're being much less active than you were before? As much as nutrition and exercise are the big components of this, you do have to look at your life as a whole because everything counts. So be consistent, monitor how things are going, and if things aren't working, then you have to make some adjustments. All right, you may be thinking, that's great, that's all well and good, but how do I know how much I should be eating to lose weight? Well, you're in luck because if you click on this top video, I will explain exactly how to go about figuring out how much you should eat in order to lose weight effectively. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comments below and I'll see you at that other video.